Welcome to the Bogosity Podcast for the 19th of September 2011, the podcast that puts peanut butter in your chocolate. This is your host, Shane Killian. Well, my 9/11 commentary sure drew a lot of negativity from listeners, but I guess that's to be expected when you have an internet full of people who each want to blame their own personal boogeyman for these horrendous attacks. And it seems that if you proffer any different motivation for the attacks, no matter how reasoned, no matter how much the facts agree with it, no matter how many intelligence experts agree with the conclusion, then you're a horrible person who loves the terrorists and wants to make excuses for them. These people seem to fit into three categories. The first is the jingoistic America First crowd. To these people, America is absolutely perfect and wonderful because we have freedom and the terrorists hate that, and that's why they attack us, and no other reason. Point out that there are other countries that are freer than America in many respects, such as Switzerland and New Zealand, and they aren't anywhere close to being the terrorist targets that we are, and you'll receive loud screeds about how you hate America. The second category is the Alex Jones conspiratard truther. I think the less said about them, the better. The third is the one I want to talk about, because that's where I've gotten most of my criticism. As an atheist skeptic, it stands to reason that I've attracted a lot of atheist and skeptical listeners and subscribers, and many of them took great issue with what I was saying. How could I not be shouting from the mountaintops that this was due to religion, how religion poisons the minds of otherwise good people and makes them commit these kinds of atrocities? It just had to be Muslim extremists who believed in 72 virgins, because there's just no other way you can get people to kill themselves and others by flying planes into buildings. Well, there's a very good reason why I didn't say that, and that is, quite simply, it just isn't true. Now let's take a healthy bite out of the news of the bogus. We all know the traditional British schoolgirl uniform from movies such as Harry Potter, Gilmore Girls, and most porn. The traditional accoutrements include button-down shirt, jacket, tie, and pleated skirt. Except, get this, many British schools have started banning the skirts. Apparently, the worst problem that British schools have to worry about is rising hemlines, due to many mothers being freaked out by their daughters dressing the way they did. Of course, schools back home aren't doing much better. According to the College Board, SAT reading scores are at their lowest point since 1995. And now it's time to face the fanatical foolishness of this week's biggest bogon emitter. Seth Abramovich recently wrote a top story for Gawker.com called "Ron Paul's Campaign Manager Died of Pneumonia, Penniless, and Uninsured." In order to set up what must be the most hideous straw man ever, Abramovich begins with absolute lies about what Ron Paul said in the recent CNN Tea Party debate. Did you hear Ron Paul's answer in there?
Are you saying the society should just let him die?
No.
Ron Paul clearly answered no to the question, but you'd never know that by reading Abramovich's column. And now it's time to inoculate ourselves against the insanity of this week's Idiot Extraordinaire. In the recent CNN Tea Party debate, Michelle Bachmann went after Rick Perry for his mandate of the HPV vaccine in Texas. Listen to what she said on national television after the debate.
Well, I will tell you that I had a mother last night come up to me here in Tampa, Florida, after the debate. She told me that her little daughter took that vaccine, that injection, and she suffered from mental retardation thereafter.